The two divisions and the unique races in each, we head out to Iowa City, where Michigan visits the Hawkeyes. And where we find our BTN.com senior writer Tom Dienhart, who joins us now. He's covering that game. Let's look at the division races. Start with the leaders. Penn State, the only undefeated team left, but they haven't played the elite teams in the conference. So what are your thoughts on Penn State?
Yeah, Mike, I mean, right now you have to say that 8-1 record is dubious, and you're exactly right as far as their resume up to this point. Doesn't really include any impressive wins. They're off this Saturday, Mike, but look at the last 3 weeks of the year. That's where all the heavy lifting is for the Nittany Lions, and that's when we're really going to find out how good this team is. Nebraska comes there next weekend, and then Penn State's got to go on the road to finish the year at Ohio State. And then they go to Wisconsin in what I think could be sort of a de facto Leaders Division Championship game.
That's exactly where I was going to go next. What are the odds that Wisconsin-Penn State winner goes to the title game?
Yeah, again, I think that's a great possibility here. The Badgers, I know they're struggling right now. I think they'll get better this weekend at home against Purdue. They got a kind of maybe a little bit of a trapdoor game left against Illinois. But again, I think it sets up well for them to at least win out until they get to that last game of the year. And again, like you thinking like myself, Mike, that game in Madison against Penn State could be for all the marbles in Leaders Division.
It's a lot more wide open in the Legends, mind you. We've got 3 teams right now just tied for the top in Michigan, Michigan State, and Nebraska. Who has the edge amongst those 3 in your eyes?
You know what, and also Iowa, if you can believe it, is still involved in this race too. If they can win out, unbelievably, they could win this division. But they're probably on the outside looking in. You know what, as far as the other 3, Michigan, Michigan State, and Nebraska, Mike, I really think you got to look at Michigan State. They've already managed that gauntlet of October where they had to play 4 really extremely difficult games. They emerged 3-1, and the rest of their schedule, the back end, isn't quite as difficult as the other contenders in that Legends division. So I think you really got to keep your eye on the Spartans here as maybe the odds-on favorite to win that division.
Well, let's go back to Iowa now, because I think you brought up a great point. Why is it that Hawkeye fans still not have reason to hope? They have plenty of reason to hope.
Well, yeah, I mean, they have the opportunity here beginning this weekend, a big game against Michigan. Then the Spartans come to Iowa City, and there's also a big game left at the end of the year against Nebraska. So the opportunity's there for the Iowa Hawkeyes, Mike, to finish this year strong and surprise everybody by, who knows, possibly winning this division here. But they've got some issues they've got to correct. And, of course, the biggest one is defensively. The run defense has been atrocious. And until they figure out a way how to plug the run up, they're going to have a hard time, I think, surprising or confounding skeptics and really being a contender here down the stretch.
Finish it off with this. If you had to put a nickel on the line right now, the 2 teams playing in Indianapolis would be?
I tell you what, I'm going with Wisconsin out of the Leaders Division, and my money's going to be on Nebraska out of the Legends. I think they're going to find a way. We're going to get a rematch, Mike, of Bo versus Brett in Indianapolis in that inaugural Big Ten Championship game.
Well, we've got a month full of Saturdays for those teams to prove you wrong. Tom Dienhart from BTN.com. Thanks for the time.
Thank you, Mike.
Remember, you can stay up to date with Tom on BTN.com. Literally sends in more than a dozen columns a week all about your favorite Big Ten teams.